For the next method in our blockchain-based API, we'll have a post request that allows a user to add a new block to the chain based on a piece of data that they send. In order to receive this data in a specific format, the JSON format, we'll use a module called bodyParser. BodyParser is a module that has a middleware function that allows us to receive JSON data within post requests in our Express application from the users who create those post requests. Middleware, in terms of an Express application, acts like an intermediary function that either transforms outgoing data into another format or it transforms incoming data. So let's install bodyParser in the command line with npm I body-parser and then use the save flag. All right, since that's installing, let's go ahead and open up the code editor. So make sure you run npm I body-parser save. And then in the code edited now, go to the index.js file for the application directory. First off, let's access the bodyParser module right after Express. So const bodyParser, and notice this time there's no dash when we require it and set it to a constant. But in the actual requirement, we do use the name of it with the dash, bodyParser. And this is to distinguish the actual object that we'll be using from the module that we're using. And now to use the bodyParser JSON middleware function, we use the aptly named app.use function. So after const app equals express, over here, let's use the app.use function, and then we'll apply the JSON middleware function from bodyParser. So we'll use bodyParser and then use its JSON middleware function. And this allows us to receive JSON within post requests now. Great. So now let's create our first post request method. We'll do that with app.post. And this time the endpoint will be a new one called /mine, which is what users will use when they want to add some data to the blockchain. Again, for the second parameter, we have an arrow function with request and response parameters that are shortened to rec and res. And then within the body of this function, let's make a new block by calling add block on the blockchain instance. And we'll set it also to constant call block. And then we'll set it to add block, bc.addBlock. And then the data that we want to pass in is rec.body.data. Because when users make a post request to this endpoint, automatically Express will create a body object for this request. And then that body object contains whatever objects and data that they send through a JSON post request to this endpoint. So that'll be rec.body.data. And we'll assume that when a user uses this mine endpoint, that there's going to be a data field present within the body object. Nice. So this should add a block to our blockchain instance. To inform the sender that their post request was successful, let's also add a log that a new block was added. So let's add a console.log. With a template string, we'll say new block added. So again, use backticks for the template string. And then we'll insert the toString version of this block with a $sign and a pair of curly braces and call block.toString. So that way they can see their new block after they add it with the post request. Now, before we complete this post request, it would also be nice to come up with a response for this post request as well. So how about responding back with the updated chain of blocks that includes the user's new block within the data? So luckily, we already have a blocks endpoint. So all we have to do is redirect to that endpoint to get the same res.json bc chain response. So let's call res.redirect, which is the redirect function on this response object. And then we'll redirect to the blocks endpoint that we already have with /blocks in a string. Neat. This completes our post request. Let's try it out in Postman now. Go ahead and open up the Postman application. And now we're going to open a new tab. And we want to select post for the request type. Now we'll go to the body over here and we'll select raw. And instead of text, we're going to have JSON application /JSON as the type of data that we're sending. Now within this, we'll want a pair of curly braces. And then since this is JSON, well, we want our data field, but make sure to surround that key over here with double quotes because that is the requirement in JSON. And then for the data, how about something like foo? It can really be anything, so you can put whatever you want. And then for the actual post request URL, again, we're going to hit the localhost port 3001. And then this time, we're going to go to the mining endpoint. Now, make sure your application is actually running with npm run dev in the command line. It should probably still be running in the background if you haven't taken a break from the last lesson, but otherwise you can always go back and rerun npm run dev. But once you do so, you should be able to hit the send endpoint. And with that, our response is a body, which is an array, which is our chain. And first it's the Genesis block. And great, would you look at that? We have our new block added to the overall chain with the data of foo. It's great hash. The last hash matches the one of the Genesis block that came before. And it even has a valid timestamp now. Very cool. So now that we have this new mine block function and that we've extended this interactive API, let's explore how we can get multiple instances of this application to communicate with each other.